Emma was 8 years old and had never known fear on her own world. The colony sat at the edge of the Kepler zone, far from the main human territories. Her parents told her that this place was a secret. The Galactic Council did not want humans here. But Emma did not care about rules from distant governments. She cared about the dirt under her feet, the sky above her head, and the small creature that followed her everywhere. Scout was a honey badger. Emma's father had found him 3 years ago, trapped in a metal cage near the colony boundary. The animal was bleeding and angry, but Dr. Marcus brought him home anyway. Emma had helped her father heal Scout's wounds. She had fed him by hand when he would not eat. Now Scout followed her like a shadow. Wherever Emma went, Scout came too. On this day, Emma decided to play near the outer fence. The fence was not tall. It was just wire and metal poles that marked the edge of the colony. Beyond it was forest. Emma loved the forest. She loved the strange purple trees and the way the light filtered through the leaves. Scout loved it too. The honey badger sniffed the ground and dug at the dirt with his claws. Emma sat on a rock and watched him. The sky was getting darker. Emma knew she should go back soon. Her mother would call for dinner. But Scout had found something interesting in the dirt. He was digging faster now, making little grunting sounds. Emma laughed and went to see what he had found. That was when she heard the sound. It came from the sky. Not the sound of wind or thunder. This was a different sound. A humming. A vibration that Emma could feel in her chest. She looked up and saw lights moving through the clouds. The lights were red and yellow. They were moving toward the colony. Emma stood up. Scout stopped digging. He turned and looked at the sky too. The honey badger made a sound that Emma had never heard before. It was not a growl. It was something deeper. Something that came from his chest and made the hair on his back stand up. Emma knew that sound. It meant danger. She started to run toward the colony. Scout ran beside her. But the forest was thick and the fence was far behind them now. Emma's legs were small and she could not run very fast. She could hear the sound getting louder. The light was brighter. It was all around her now. Then she saw them. 8 creatures stood between her and the colony. They were not human. Emma had seen pictures of aliens in her lessons, but the pictures did not show how tall they were or how strange they looked. These creatures were made of hard material. It looked like armor, but Emma understood it was their skin. Their skin was brown and looked like insect shells. They had 4 arms instead of 2. Their heads were large and flat. Their eyes were like black mirrors. They did not blink. One of the creatures stepped forward. He was taller than the others. His body was covered in black armor that did not look like skin. Emma understood this was special armor. It meant he was the leader. The leader spoke. His voice came from a box on his chest. It was loud and made sounds that hurt Emma's ears. She did not understand the words, but she understood the tone. The voice said stop. The voice said danger. The voice said surrender. Emma stopped running. She held very still. Scout pressed against her legs. The honey badger was making sounds in his throat. They were not friendly sounds. The leader took another step forward. His 3 companions moved with him. They held objects in their upper hands. Emma knew what those objects were. They were weapons. She had seen weapons in her classes too. These weapons looked sharp and dangerous. Scout growled. It was a real growl now. His teeth showed. His whole body was shaking. Emma put her hand on Scout's head. She tried to keep him calm. Her voice shook as she tried to speak. She said her name. She said she was a child. She said please do not hurt her. But she was not sure the alien leader could understand human words. The leader made a sound. It came from his mouth, not the box on his chest. The sound made his 3 companions move closer. They formed a circle around Emma and Scout. Emma understood they were trapped. There was no way to run now. The forest behind them was thick and dark. The colony was too far away. The aliens were all around them. Emma's heart was beating very fast. She was scared now. She could feel her legs shaking. Tears came to her eyes. She did not want to cry in front of these creatures, but she could not stop them. Scout felt her fear. The honey badger pressed harder against her legs. He made sounds that were not words, but Emma understood them. Scout was telling her something. He was telling her that he would protect her. He was telling her that she was not alone. The leader reached down with one of his lower arms. Emma thought he was going to grab her. She closed her eyes. Then Scout moved. The honey badger did not think. He did not plan. He did not understand that he was small and the aliens were large and strong. Scout only knew that Emma was scared. Scout only knew that the creatures in front of them had weapons. Scout only knew that he had to stop the danger. The honey badger jumped. He jumped higher than any animal his size should be able to jump. He jumped straight at the closest alien soldier. His teeth were open. His claws were open. His whole body was a weapon. The alien soldier tried to move, but Scout was fast. The honey badger hit the soldier's arm. His teeth went deep into the armor. He pulled and tore at the dark material. The armor was hard, but Scout's teeth were sharp, and his jaw was very strong. The soldier made a loud sound. It was a sound of pain. The soldier dropped his weapon. Scout bit harder. He found a place where the armor did not cover the body underneath. He bit down with all his strength. The soldier fell backward. He crashed into the ground, and the air left his lungs with a whoosh sound. The other soldiers moved toward Scout, but the honey badger was already moving again. He was small and fast, and he did not know fear. He ran under their arms. He jumped on their backs. He bit at their armor and found the weak places. The leader watched all of this happen. He did not move. He did not give orders. He only watched a small animal fight his soldiers with a kind of courage and strength that he did not understand. And in that moment, something changed inside the leader's mind. Emma watched Scout fight. She was no longer afraid of the aliens. She was afraid for Scout, but she also understood something important. Scout was not fighting to be mean. Scout was fighting because he loved her. Scout would fight anything to keep her safe. Scout would die for her if he had to. That was the kind of creature Scout was, and that was the moment that everything changed. The first soldier went down hard. He hit the ground and could not get back up. His arm was bleeding. His armor had deep marks where Scout's teeth had torn into it. He screamed sounds that no human had ever heard before. Those sounds were sounds of pain and shock and fear. Scout did not stop. The honey badger was in motion. His whole mind was one thing and one thing only: protect Emma. Everything else meant nothing. The aliens were big and strong and wore armor, but Scout did not think about that. He only thought about the fact that Emma needed him. The second soldier tried to run. Scout was faster. The honey badger jumped onto his back and climbed up his armor. The soldier shook his body, trying to throw Scout off. But Scout held on with his claws. His claws dug into the armor and found the spaces between the plates. Scout pulled himself higher and higher. The soldier reached back with his forearms. He tried to grab Scout, but his arms were long and his reach was too wide. He could not grab something on his own back. Scout kept climbing. He got to the soldier's neck. He bit down hard. The second soldier fell to his knees. He made loud sounds. His companions did not come to help him. They were too afraid. Commander Vex watched all of this. Vex was the leader. He had commanded the Xylothian patrol squad for 7 cycles. He had never lost control of his team. He had never seen his soldiers defeated. But he was seeing it now, a small animal. an animal that weighed less than a human child's backpack. This animal was defeating his trained soldiers. This animal was doing something that Vex had thought was impossible. Vex's training told him to shoot. His orders were clear. The human settlement was illegal. Any resistance was to be eliminated. But Vex had watched the small creature fight. He had seen the way it moved, the way it protected the child. And something in Vex's mind was breaking apart. The Xylothian species did not value protection. They valued order. They valued rules. They valued following commands without question. But this small animal was showing Vex something different. This animal was showing him that the most important thing was not order. The most important thing was the one you loved. The third soldier finally managed to shoot. He fired his weapon at Scout. The blast missed the honey badger but hit the ground near Emma. The earth exploded into dirt and stone. Emma screamed. Scout heard Emma scream. The honey badger turned and ran back to her. He stood between Emma and the soldiers. His body was shaking. He was breathing hard. His fur was dirty and torn, but his eyes were focused on the threat. Scout would stay between Emma and anyone who wanted to hurt her. Vex raised his hand. He made a sound with his mouth. All the remaining soldiers stopped moving. They stopped trying to fight. They stopped trying to shoot. Vex understood something now. Understanding was new for him. Vex's culture did not teach understanding. It taught obedience. But here, on this alien world, in this moment, Vex was learning what understanding meant. The creature in front of him was not dangerous. The creature was protective. The creature loved the human child more than it loved its own life. This was not something Vex had read about in any report. This was not something his commanders had told him to expect. But it was true. Vex stepped forward. His soldiers tried to stop him, but he raised his hand again. The soldiers went silent. Scout saw the leader coming. The honey badger's teeth were still showing. He made sounds in his throat. He was ready to fight again if he had to. But something was different about the leader. The leader was moving slowly. The leader's upper arms were open. The leader was not holding a weapon anymore. Vex knelt down. It was a gesture that his culture did not make. Xylothians did not kneel. But Vex knelt down anyway. Emma watched. She did not understand what was happening. The alien leader was on his knees. The alien was very large and very strange, but he was not attacking. He was not moving toward her or Scout. He was just kneeling there. Scout's growl became quieter. The honey badger could sense something in the alien's body. Something that said this creature was not the enemy. Scout stepped closer. One small step. Then another. Vex held out one of his lower hands. It was open. It was empty. It showed that he had no weapon. It showed that he meant no harm. Scout sniffed the hand. The badger's nose touched the alien's skin. The skin was hard and cold, not like anything Scout had ever felt. But Scout understood the gesture. Scout understood that this big creature was showing respect. Vex made sounds. They were not the harsh sounds from before. These sounds were different. They were soft. They were sounds that came from Vex's throat, not from the speaker on his chest. Emma did not understand the sounds, but she understood the meaning. The alien was not here to hurt them. The alien was here because he had learned something. The alien was here because he understood that Scout was not a weapon. Scout was a creature that loved. Scout was a creature that would die for someone smaller and weaker. The other soldiers stood very still. They did not understand what was happening. They did not understand why their commander was kneeling in front of a human child and a honey badger. But they did not question him. In the Xylothian army, soldiers did not question their commander. Vex stood up slowly. He looked at the 4 soldiers who could still stand. He made sounds with his mouth. The sounds were orders. The orders were to put down their weapons and step back. The soldiers obeyed. They lowered their weapons to the ground. They stepped away from Emma and Scout. For the first time since the aliens had arrived, Emma could breathe. She sat down on the ground. Scout climbed into her lap. The honey badger was shaking. He had fought 4 aliens and won, but now that the fight was over, Scout was shaking. Emma held Scout against her chest. She felt his heart beating. It was beating very fast. She whispered to Scout. She told him that he had been brave. She told him that he had saved her. She told him that she loved him. Scout made small sounds. He was still scared. He did not know what would happen next. Vex watched the human child hold the honey badger. He watched the way she was talking to the animal. He watched the way the animal was listening to her. And Vex understood something that his entire species had not understood for thousands of years. The humans were not weak. The humans were not primitive. The humans had something inside them that the Xylithians had lost a long time ago. The humans had love, and love was more powerful than any weapon. Emma sat on the ground with Scout in her lap. The aliens stood around her, but they were not moving. They were not attacking. Slowly, Emma's fear began to fade. But new questions came into her mind. Questions about who these creatures were. Questions about what they wanted. She looked up at the leader. She had never talked to an alien before. She did not know if it could understand her words. But she tried anyway. "Are you going to hurt us?" Emma asked. Her voice was very small and very quiet. The leader made sounds with his mouth. The sounds were not words that Emma understood, but something in the way he made them told Emma that he was trying to be nice. The leader pointed at Emma, then at Scout. Then he pointed toward the direction of the colony. Emma understood. The leader wanted her to go back to the colony. She stood up. Scout stayed with her. The honey badger was still shaking, but he was ready to move. Emma started to walk toward the colony. She did not run. She did not know if that would make the aliens attack, but the aliens did not follow. They did not move at all. The leader just stood there and watched Emma walk away. Emma walked for a long time. The forest was getting dark now. The strange purple trees made shadows on the ground. But Emma could see the lights of the colony ahead. The colony was small, but it was home. It was where her parents were. It was where she was safe. When Emma reached the edge of the colony, she saw people running toward her. Her mother was running first. Her father was running behind her. Other people from the colony were running too. They had seen the lights in the sky. They had seen the ships. They had been afraid that Emma would not come back. Emma's mother grabbed her and held her very tight. She did not say anything. She just held Emma and cried. Emma's father picked her up. He held her against his chest. He could feel her heart beating. He could feel her body shaking. "Where were you?" Dr. Marcus asked. "We heard sounds. We thought something had happened to you." "The aliens came," Emma said. "They wanted to take us. But Scout fought them. Scout saved me." Dr. Marcus looked at Scout. The honey badger's fur was torn and dirty. There was blood on his teeth. But Scout was standing. Scout was still protecting Emma. The other people from the colony gathered around. They wanted to know what happened. They wanted to know if the aliens were coming to the colony. They wanted to know if they were all going to die. Emma told them everything. She told them about the aliens. She told them about Scout fighting. She told them about the leader putting his weapon down. She told them about the leader being kind. Dr. Marcus listened to everything Emma said. He was thinking about the decision that had to be made. The aliens were outside the colony. They had weapons. They had ships. The colony did not have many weapons. The colony was a place for science and research, not for fighting. Dr. Marcus made a decision. He told everyone to stay calm. He told them that he would go and talk to the aliens. He told them that he would try to understand what they wanted. Emma's mother did not want to let him go, but she understood that talking was better than fighting. She let Dr. Marcus go. She held Emma and Scout and waited. Dr. Marcus walked out to the place where the aliens were waiting. Commander Vex saw him coming. Vex made sounds to his soldiers. The soldiers stood up straight, but they did not raise their weapons. Dr. Marcus came very close to Vex. He could see that the aliens were different from humans in every way, but he could also see something else. He could see that the leader was thinking. The leader was trying to understand something. "I am Dr. Marcus," he said. "I am the leader of this colony. I am the father of the child." Vex made sounds. His speaker box translated the sounds into human words. The words were not perfect, but Dr. Marcus could understand them. "I am Commander Vex," the leader said. "I command the Xylothian Patrol. You are in violation of Galactic Council law. This settlement is forbidden." "I know," Dr. Marcus said. "We know we are breaking the law, but we had no choice. Earth is dying." The Galactic Council said that humans could not settle anywhere. They said we were too dangerous. We had to come here, or we would have nowhere to go. Vex was quiet for a long time. He was thinking about what Dr. Marcus said. He was thinking about Emma and Scout. He was thinking about everything that he had learned in the past hour. "The Galactic Council fears humans," Vex said finally. "They fear your strength. They fear that humans will take over the galaxy. They fear that humans will destroy everything." "But that is not true," Dr. Marcus said. "We do not want to destroy anything. We only want to live. We only want to take care of our families. We only want to protect our children." Vex looked at Dr. Marcus. He could see that this human was telling the truth. This human was not a soldier. This human was a scientist. This human had a daughter and a pet animal. This human wanted the same things that any creature wanted: safety, family, home. "Your daughter has a honey badger," Vex said. "The honey badger is small. The honey badger is not strong like my soldiers. But the honey badger fought my soldiers and defeated them. That is because Scout loves Emma," Dr. Marcus said. "Scout would do anything to protect her. That is how humans are. We love our children more than anything. We will fight anything to keep them safe. We will die for them if we have to." Vex made sounds with his mouth. He was remembering what Emma's mother looked like. He was remembering how tightly she held Emma. He was remembering the way Emma held Scout. He was remembering the way Scout fought with all his strength to protect someone smaller than himself. "Your species is not what we were told," Vex said. "You are not weak. You are not dangerous. You are something else. What are we?" Dr. Marcus asked. Vex was quiet for a long time. He was searching for the right word. "You are protectors," Vex said finally. "You protect your young. You protect your weak. You protect the ones you love." The Galactic Council did not understand this. The Galactic Council fears what they do not understand. Dr. Marcus nodded. He understood what Vex was saying. He understood that this alien had learned something important. He understood that this alien was trying to see humans as they really were, not as the Galactic Council said they were. "What will you do?" Dr. Marcus asked. "Will you arrest us? Will you destroy our colony?" Vex looked at his soldiers. He looked at them for a long time. Then he looked back at Dr. Marcus. "I will make a choice," Vex said. "I will choose to see the truth. I will choose to understand that humans are not the enemy. I will choose to protect your colony instead of destroying it." Dr. Marcus felt something inside him break open. He'd been afraid for so long. He'd been afraid of the Galactic Council. He had been afraid of discovery. He had been afraid that everything he had worked for would be taken away. But now this alien was telling him that everything would be okay. "Thank you," Dr. Marcus said. "Thank you for understanding." "Thank your daughter," Vex said. "Thank your honey badger. They taught me something that my species has forgotten. They taught me that love is more powerful than law." The sun was going down. The sky was turning orange and purple. Commander Vex and Dr. Marcus stood in the fading light and talked about many things. Vex wanted to understand humans better. He asked questions about Emma. He asked questions about Scout. He asked questions about why humans loved so much. Dr. Marcus answered all of the questions. He told Vex about how humans had evolved on Earth. He told him about how humans had to work together to survive. He told him about how human families stayed together because they needed each other. "On my world," Vex said, "families are not important. Children are raised by the government. They are trained to be soldiers or workers. They are taught to follow rules and obey commands. Family connection is seen as weakness." "That is wrong," Dr. Marcus said. He said it not with anger, but with sadness. Family is not weakness. Family is strength. When you love someone, you are willing to do hard things. You are willing to take risks. You are willing to stand against the whole galaxy if you have to. That is what gives humans power. Vex listened to these words. He was learning things that his culture had never taught him. He was learning that the way his people lived was empty. His people were strong in body, but weak in spirit. His people had power, but they did not have love. Back at the colony, Emma was sitting with Scout. Scout was hurt. His fur had cuts where the alien armor had scratched him. His teeth were still bloody from the fight. But Scout was calm now. Scout was with Emma, and that was all that mattered to him. Emma's mother cleaned Scout's wounds. She used water and soft cloth to wash away the blood and dirt. Scout did not complain. He sat still and let her help him. "You are a brave animal," Emma's mother said to Scout. "You saved my daughter's life." Scout made small sounds. He did not understand human words, but he understood kindness. Emma's mother was being kind to him. She was helping him. Scout leaned his head against her hand. Emma watched her mother help Scout. She was thinking about the aliens. She was thinking about the big alien leader who had been mean at first, but then became nice. She was thinking about how Scout had changed him by being brave. "Mama," Emma said, "why did the alien change his mind?" "Because you showed him something," Emma's mother said. "You showed him that we are not monsters. Scout showed him that we are capable of love." The alien was taught to believe bad things about humans, but what he saw with his own eyes was different. So he changed his mind. Emma nodded. She understood this. She understood that people could learn. She understood that showing someone the truth was more powerful than telling them the truth. There was a sound outside. Emma and her mother looked out the window. They saw Vex walking toward the colony with Dr. Marcus. Vex was walking slowly. He was looking around at everything. He was looking at the buildings. He was looking at the plants. He was looking at the sky. This was a different world than his own world. His world was covered in metal and stone. This world was covered in green and purple life. His world was loud with machinery. This world was quiet and peaceful. When Vex reached the colony, he saw Emma sitting outside with Scout. The honey badger was bandaged. The animal had clearly been hurt in the fight. But the animal was looking at Vex with eyes that were not afraid. Vex knelt down slowly. He was being careful. He did not want to frighten Scout again. Scout sniffed the air. Vex's smell was strange. But Scout remembered this alien. Scout remembered that this alien had put down his weapon. Scout remembered that this alien had decided not to fight. Vex reached out one of his lower hands. He moved it very slowly. Scout watched the hand come closer. The honey badger could have attacked. Scout could have bitten the alien. But Scout did not. Scout understood that this alien was trying to be friends. Scout walked forward and sniffed Vex's hand. The alien's skin was cold and hard, like the armor he wore. But Scout let his nose touch the skin anyway. Scout was making a choice. Scout was choosing to trust this alien. Emma watched this happen. She saw the big alien and the small honey badger touching. She saw something pass between them. It was not words. It was not sound. But it was real. Vex made sounds with his mouth. The sounds were not from his speaker box. These sounds came from deep inside his chest. They were sounds that Xylothians did not normally make. They were sounds of feeling. Emma stood up and walked over to Vex. She was not afraid anymore. She could see that this alien had changed. She could see that this alien was trying to understand. "What is your name?" Emma asked. "I am Commander Vex," the alien said through his speaker. "I am Emma," she said. "This is Scout. He is my best friend." Vex moved his hand to touch Scout's fur. The honey badger did not pull away. Scout stood there and let the alien pet him. The alien's touch was gentle. The alien was being careful not to hurt the animal. "Your honey badger is very strong," Vex said. "On my world, we value strength. We value the ability to fight. But we do not understand the reason your animal was fighting. The animal was not fighting for power. The animal was fighting for love. That is what makes Scout strong," Emma said. "Scout is not strong because his body is big. Scout is strong because his heart is big. Scout loves me more than anything. That makes him brave." Vex was quiet. He was thinking about this. He was thinking about his own soldiers. His soldiers were strong. They had weapons. They had armor. But they did not have love. They did not have reasons to fight except for orders. "In my army," Vex said, "we have many soldiers. We have great ships. We have powerful weapons. But we are not as strong as your honey badger. Because we do not have love to make us brave." Dr. Marcus nodded. He could see that Vex was finally understanding the truth. Vex was finally seeing that strength came from inside, not from outside. "This is what I have learned today," Vex said to Dr. Marcus and Emma. "Your species is not what we were told. You are not weak. You are not dangerous in the way the Council fears. You are dangerous because you are willing to die for the ones you love. You are strong because you protect your young. You are powerful because you can create bonds that cross all distance." Emma reached out her small hand and put it on Vex's arm. The alien stood very still. He had never felt a human touch him like this. It was a gesture of trust. It was a gesture of friendship. "You are nice," Emma said to Vex. "You were scary at first, but you were nice. You learned. You changed your mind. That is good." Vex looked down at the small human girl. He looked at her hand on his arm. He felt something inside him that he did not have a name for. It was something new. It was something warm. "I have made a decision," Vex said to Dr. Marcus. "I will report to the Galactic Council, but I will not tell them about your colony. I will tell them that this planet is empty. I will tell them that we found nothing here." Dr. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. "Why would you do that?" Dr. Marcus asked. "You could be punished. You could lose your position." "Because," Vex said, "some things are more important than rules. Some things are more important than orders. Protecting the innocent is more important. Protecting the ones we love is more important. Your colony is family. I will protect family." The night was dark and full of stars. Vex stood with his soldiers and looked at the colony one last time. Emma was sleeping inside one of the buildings. Scout was sleeping beside her. Dr. Marcus was sleeping. Emma's mother was sleeping. Everyone in the colony was sleeping except the guards who watched the night. Vex turned to his soldiers. He made sounds with his mouth. He was giving them orders. "We will return to the ship," Vex said. "We will leave this planet. We will report that the planet is empty. We will report that there is no human settlement here. Do you understand?" The soldiers looked at each other. They did not understand. They had been ordered to find humans. They had been ordered to arrest humans. Now their commander was telling them to lie about what they had found. But in the Xylithian army, soldiers did not question their commander. The soldiers nodded and said nothing. Vex walked to the ship with his team. The ship was large and made of dark metal. It had weapons on the outside. It had technology that could destroy an entire city. But Vex was choosing not to use any of it. As he walked toward the ship, Vex thought about what he was doing. He was breaking his orders. He was lying to the Galactic Council. He was choosing to protect people that he had been ordered to arrest. If the Galactic Council found out the truth, Vex would be punished. He would lose his position. He might even be executed. But when Vex thought about Emma holding Scout, he knew his choice was right. When he thought about the honey badger fighting to protect someone smaller than himself, he knew his choice was right. When he thought about the way humans loved their families, he knew his choice was right. Some things were more important than safety. Some things were more important than career. Some things were more important than life itself. Vex entered his command room. His officer, Krell, was waiting for him. "Sir," Krell said, "what did you discover on the planet?" "The planet is empty," Vex said. "There is no human settlement. We found nothing." Krell looked confused. Krell had seen the colony. Krell had seen the buildings. Krell had seen the humans. But Krell did not argue with his commander. Krell just filed the report. The report said the planet was empty. The report said the patrol squad found no violations of Galactic Council law. The report said there was no reason for further investigation. The report was a lie, but it was a lie that would save lives. Vex sat in his command chair. He looked at the planet below. He thought about Emma sleeping in the colony. He thought about Scout sleeping beside her. He thought about how one small creature and one brave child had changed everything. For a long time, Vex's people had believed that humans were dangerous. They believed that humans had to be kept away from the galaxy. They believed that human love and human loyalty were weaknesses that could be exploited. But Vex now understood the truth. He understood that human love was the strongest force in the universe. He understood that when humans love someone, they would do impossible things. They would fight creatures much larger than themselves. They would stand against authority. They would sacrifice their own lives. This was not weakness. This was strength. Vex reached into his uniform. He pulled out a small device. It was an encrypted communication device. He had given this device to Emma before he left the colony. She had looked at it with wonder. "If you are ever in danger," Vex had told her, "you can use this to call for help. No matter where you are in the galaxy, I will come. This is a promise from me to you." Emma had hugged him. The small human girl had put her arms around the large alien's neck and hugged him. Scout had licked Vex's hand. That moment was burned into Vex's memory. That moment was the most important moment of his life. The Xylithian ship rose into the sky. It moved faster and faster until the planet became a small dot below. Then it disappeared entirely. Vex watched the stars. He thought about how much the galaxy would change if more people understood what he had learned. He thought about how much better the galaxy would be if all creatures could see, past their fear, and understand one another. He knew his life would never be the same. When the Galactic Council discovered the truth, they would be angry. They would try to find him. They would try to punish him. But Vex did not care anymore about punishment. He cared about doing what was right below on the planet. Emma woke up in the morning. The sun was coming up and painting the sky with light. She could smell breakfast cooking in the colony kitchen. She could hear people moving around and talking. Scout was sleeping beside her, his body warm and safe. Emma's mother came into the room. "The aliens are gone," Emma's mother said. The alien commander kept his promise. He did not report the colony to the Galactic Council. Emma smiled. She had known that Vex would keep his promise. She had seen something in his eyes. She had seen that the alien had learned to care about something besides rules and orders. "Will he come back?" Emma asked. "I do not know," her mother said. "But he has a device to contact him. If we ever need his help, he will come." Emma picked up the device that Vex had given her. It was small and fit in her hand. It looked like it was made of light and metal combined. Emma touched it gently. "I will keep this safe," Emma said. "And Scout will help me protect it." Scout opened one eye. He heard his name. He made a small sound. He was ready to protect whatever Emma wanted him to protect. Dr. Marcus came into the room. He was holding a cup of hot drink. He sat down on Emma's bed. "That alien changed everything," Dr. Marcus said. "He chose to break his rules to protect us. He chose to do what was right instead of what he was ordered to do. That is the most human thing I have ever seen an alien do." "Humans are not the only ones who can love," Emma said. "The alien leader loved us too. He loved us enough to give up everything." Emma's father nodded. He was proud of his daughter. She was only 8 years old, but she understood something that many adults did not understand. She understood that love did not have to be human. Love did not belong to any one species. Love was something that all creatures could have if they let themselves feel it. The weeks passed. The colony became stronger. More ships came with supplies. More settlers came from the dying colonies in space. The colony grew and expanded. Children played in the fields. Scientists conducted their research. Families built their homes. And in all of this, Emma and Scout were happy. Emma went to school. She learned about the galaxy and the different species in it. She learned about the Xylothians. She learned that Vex was now being hunted by the Galactic Council. She learned that Vex had given up everything to protect her colony. But Emma knew that Vex did not regret his choice. She knew that Vex understood now what humans understood. She knew that Vex knew that some things were more important than wealth or power or position. Some things were worth dying for. Scout grew older, but he stayed strong. The honey badger became famous throughout the colony. Everyone knew the story of how Scout had fought 4 alien soldiers and won. Everyone knew that Scout had saved Emma's life, but Scout never became proud or mean. Scout was still the same loving animal he had always been. Scout still followed Emma everywhere. Scout still would have died to protect her. One day, when Emma was older, she used the communication device. She sent a message to Vex. The message said, "Thank you for keeping your promise. Thank you for teaching me that love is the most powerful thing in the universe. One day, I hope to tell the whole galaxy what you have learned." Days later, a message came back from Vex. The message was short, but it was important. "The galaxy is changing. More of my people are beginning to understand. You planted a seed on that day. You and Scout planted a seed that will grow into something great. One day, humans and Xylothians will work together. One day, we will be allies instead of enemies. That day is coming because you had a honey badger. That day is coming because you had courage. That day is coming because you had love." Emma read the message over and over. She understood what Vex meant. She understood that one small moment had changed everything. One child, one animal, one alien leader who was willing to learn. That was all it took to change the galaxy. Scout put his head on Emma's lap and closed his eyes. The honey badger did not need to understand the message. Scout only knew that Emma was happy. Scout only knew that Emma was safe. Scout only knew that he loved her, and in that simple fact, the future of the galaxy had been decided. The future had been decided when one small creature fought to protect someone they loved. The future had been decided when one alien leader was brave enough to do what was right instead of what was easy. The future of the galaxy was a future of understanding. The future was a future of love. The future was a future where all creatures, human and aliens, Ilothian and others, could live together in peace. And it had all started with a honey badger and a brave 8-year-old girl.